And now, Strategic Command WW2 War in the Pacific. In our previous episode, the United States Navy and their Australian and Dutch allies engaged Imperial Japanese naval forces off the coast of Santa Isabel and Malaysia. These resulted in the sinking of the super battleship Yamato and the fleet carrier Akagi. These losses, though critical for the Japanese Navy, still leave a considerable number of forces available for the Imperial Japanese Navy to use against the Allied forces in their efforts to regain control of the Solomon Islands. American forces have landed on the island of Guadalcanal and are pushing towards the island capital. Meanwhile, Australian and American forces are attempting to hold the line on New Guinea and prevent the Japanese army from taking Port Moresby. Welcome everybody back to the Malbeefance channel, and this is episode 10 of our series replay of Strategic Command World War II War in the Pacific. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and advance the turn, see what we get. And let's hope I've got the audio volume correct this time. China celebrates having the USSR as an ally in the war against Japan, but for some reason I can't get their forces to move into Manchuria. Vessels in the slot impede the flow of supplies to Guadalcanal. Tanutuva prepares for war. Soviet, what's the term? Not ally. Partisan activity in China? Battle of Brisbane, 1 killed and hundreds injured in fighting between U.S. soldiers and Australians. This is a historical event. Basically, what went on here is that Australians were getting a little miffed that the Americans had the commissary system. And apparently, I'm not 100% sure, but apparently the Australians were not allowed to use the commissary. So they were not able to get at all of the goodies. And this wound up creating a lot of hate and discontent. And that spilled over to one night where a fight broke out in a bar. And oddly enough, there were Australian soldiers or sailors were trying to defend an American service member from the American MPs that I guess were trying to arrest him. And so that got all out of hand and turned into a riot. So, odd piece of history there for you. American scientists report progress in logistics development to 27%. And USSR scientists report logistic development up to 47%. Nationalist Chinese logistics development up to 33%. Australian advanced fighter development hit 100%, so they now have advanced fighters level 2. There is our ledger for the up and coming turn. So looking much better over here in America, but we've got all these supplies going out. But hey, got to keep the rest of the team in the fight. All right, so computer is calculating supply for the upcoming Japanese turn, and let's see what happens. With bad weather up here in northern China, that may slow down any advance. So we have a fleet carrier here off of Hong Kong, supporting operations in southern Japan. Unfortunately, they're tearing up our Chinese fighters. Now we got carrier forces still up here off of Rabaul. Please stay there so that the Allied fleet can come and say hello. All right, so we got some movement along the Soviet border and some movement down here in Burma. All right, so we still have some more operations going on in China. All right, luckily, Allied forces are defending pretty well. That could change in an instant depending on what the computer's got in store for me. The computer has a I wouldn't call it an advantage. What I did is I gave them a higher starting production point MPP value, and so they collect more MPPs per turn. Tuna Tuva joins the Allies, and I get that whole one garrison. Osaka mobilizes its home guard. Mongolia joins the Allies. Sapporo mobilizes the home guard. Sendai mobilizes its home guard. That is actually a decision point earlier on in the game. The player, and in this case the computer, has to choose whether or not to spend the money to activate those units, and then they become available at a certain time. All right, so Chinese guerrillas. Um, the RN is disrupting Burma-Japan convoys. The weather cleans up a little bit for us. And there is our activity summary. All right, so Soviet intelligence reports a headquarters unit in Rabaul. Okay, good job. All right, so more garrisons for the British. I need those to help block the leave India movement. So I know I need one in Calcutta. All right, so where else? I've got one in Madras. Yes, I do. And Bombay, Karachi, Delhi. I know there's one more. There it is. Okay. All right, going to have to move him there. All right, USA's garrison and heavy artillery for the Russians. Let's go ahead and we'll put that down here. I have a feeling this is going to be my major combat zone for the Russians. So can I move them now into? No, I can't. I still can't move them. Why the heck not? And I can't attack this guy. All right, so that's odd. I thought they were in this war. All right, let me have a look at this. I don't know why these guys are not able to move. I thought they declared war. Or is it just they joined the Allies? They haven't actually declared war on Japan. Is that the case? So let me check diplomacy here, see if that gives us any ideas. All right, so yeah, it looks like It looks like the USSR, all they did was simply declare for the Allies. They didn't actually declare war. All right. All right. Well, since we're over on this side of the map, so we'll go ahead and reinforce our position here in the north. That might not have been the smartest move. You know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and move them back. It'd be nice if I could get him over here. All right, let's start heading in that direction. Yeah, because I mean, look at this. The Japanese are going to make a major push up here. So let me get some more armies up there now. Do I have anybody out here? Just that light tank and that corps. So we're not going to advance here yet. Well, my fighters got 8 up. You know what? Let's get them someplace safe for the time being. Let me go ahead and upgrade them and then reinforce them. All right, so it looks like they may have pulled back along here, and that might explain why I've got all these forces up north. So I'm debating whether I want to go ahead and probe out that way. They're out of supply, so we'll attack them. Or low on supply, anyway. All right, so that's going to take care of mainland China, at least for now. So let's look over here in Burma. Now, we didn't have a lot happen over here. So let's go ahead and see if we can't start a little trouble on our own. All right, that did not go as well as I had hoped, but we did get a good scouting done. You know what? I'm going to give it a try. Okay, nope. Did not work. There's his coverage. Nope, I will pass on that idea. All right. Work on getting the RN back up to strength. I have a feeling that I'm going to need the Royal Navy to help swing things over here. just by threatening supply lines through the South China Sea. Okay, that's going to take care of the RN. I just dropped him so he can't move. All right, anything else over this way? Nope, doesn't look like it. All right, so now let's go to the U.S. West Coast and the Washington battleship can advance. And I don't think, nope, nobody else can move out of the West Coast. I don't have anything there. Upgrade the Pringle. So who's the 7th Marines? Get them over here as quickly as I can. Now all these guys I got in port, I can improve their weapons. Definitely going to need that against the Japanese Navy, as all of them have already got level 1 weapons, which means the computer gets to work on level 2 weapons. All right, so before I move these guys, let's see what we can do to help out the amphibious invasion. All right, Hornet is set on bombers. Let's get her close enough to attack. Keep Saratoga as air cover. Switch Enterprise to bombing also. Alright, so that did not go as well as I had hoped. Alright. Rotate some of these ships in order to be able to get their upgrades done. Put these guys in blocking positions to help protect the carriers until everybody's able to go in and upgrade. Alright, so now hopefully there we go. Finally. Alright, that's MacArthur's headquarters. So let's drop him. Hopefully that'll help these guys out next turn. And then I should have one more unit out here somewhere. Yep. Ah, for crying out loud. Oh, nuts. I forgot to attack him before getting off the ropes. Damn it. There we go. was hoping to see if we could find those carriers. And there's the other one. Now, he's already attacked. Alright, so we'll start getting in position to go after those guys. Now, luckily, all of these folks have been upgraded. Those battleships, anyway. So we'll go ahead and we'll start stalking those two carriers. Hopefully we'll be able to do something. I was hoping to grab this port because I have a feeling these guys are going to be hard pressed for supplies. Even if I go ahead and land somebody down here on San Cristobal, I have a feeling it's not going to help any. All right. So who we have here? 5th Marine Special Forces. And this is 6th Marines. All right, I can't drop them anywhere just yet. All right, so unfortunately I screwed that up. Is there anything we can do here? Oh yeah. All right, that didn't go so well. All right, so I think that is going to do it for all of my operational movement and combat for this turn. So let's go ahead. I was going to see if I could put money into the Soviet Union in diplomacy in order to get them into the war. All right, so let's look at research. Let's start with the UK. They've only got 99 points left, so there's not a whole lot I can do with that. So let's go ahead and bank that for now. And the United States is almost maxed out. They got 170 left. So they're working on armored warfare. Let me speed that up. And the Soviet Union has got a lot of production available. All right, so they got armored warfare. Let's go ahead and get advanced tanks going. I mean, they already got level 2, but hey, more is better. Longer range aircraft, better ground attack weapons. I don't have enough for that. Naval weaponry, I really don't need. I really hadn't planned on using them as a major part of naval operations. But I can't build anything with 133 except for like a garrison. So let's go ahead and bank it. We'll save it. Okay. Nationalists have 316. They're about to make a breakthrough in command and control. That'll be very helpful. They're working on level 2 weapons. You could definitely, alright, so yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll get the artillery weapons, even though they've only got the one artillery unit. And they've got level 2 advanced fighters. That's good. So let's work on ground attack weapons for that one bomber squadron that we have. And I'll have to bank the remaining 66. Now, with the Communist Chinese, they've only got 73 points left, but we can put that in industrial technology. Now, the Australians, they've already got level 2 logistics. I mean, you can never have enough logistics, but is there something more important that I got to put on these guys? They're working on naval weaponry. Let's speed that up. Okay, so I don't think we have enough left to build anything with most folks. Okay, so Australia can create a garrison. I can reconstitute the volunteers, but I don't have a place to deploy them just yet. Chinese can create some garrisons. They're not going to really do me any good. USSR, anti-air. Well, can't hurt. All right, United States. So yeah, so I got to get more aircraft. Oh. Into the theater there. British Empire. They can get a motor torpedo boat going. Actually, that would actually be helpful in the Malaccan Straits. So yeah, let's go ahead and get him going. All right, that is going to take care of that turn. We'll go ahead and advance a turn. I got enough time left. I might be able to stick in a second turn. All right, 1st Marines are suffering attrition losses already. All right, vessels in the slot are impeding supplies. Quick Match is hit by rough seas and gets damaged. British Empire develops advanced fighter level 2. USA develops ground attack weapons level 1. Mobility level 1. Anti-submarine warfare is up to 91%. Just missed it. Okay, submarine warfare is now at level 3. Command and control for the Nationalist Chinese. We knew that was coming. Armored warfare is up. Level 1. Logistics development up to 65%. There is our ledger. So now calculating supplies. So now I'm still experimenting with the new microphone and audio system. I've been noticing that I've gotten a handle on the volume of the game, but now I'm having difficulty getting my voice volume up correctly. It still comes out loud enough to be good when I'm doing my playback, but once I put it on the video, once I upload the video, then it sounds really, really quiet. You have to turn the volume all the way up to hear me. All right, so we got a lot of air operations going on in and around China and Southeast Asia. So now here comes the continuing offensives in northern China. And we just lost that garrison. So it Doesn't look like the Japanese are making much progress anywhere else. It's a good thing. I'm not complaining. But I'm kind of mired down. My Guadalcanal campaign is not going well. See if the carrier bombing missions can turn that around this turn. Or this upcoming turn. Alright, RN disrupting Burma Japan convoys. Is that the only announcement we get? Yep, second garrison was wiped out. Electra gets 6 MPPs. Escort carrier spotted by U.S. intelligence over there in Sarong. And Soviet intelligence spot a anti-aircraft unit. They also spot maritime bombers. We kind of knew they were there. All right, British 3rd Commandos. How close can I get them to the front line? Pretty close. But I don't want to deploy them here because they're not on a road. 1st U.S. tanks. And the carrier Essex. 2nd Chinese Fighter Squadron. I was hoping to put them in the base there. All right, we'll hang back for the moment. Okay, so that is going to be it for our reinforcements. Go ahead and reinforce or upgrade that one Chinese fighter squadron. All right, so starting at the U.S. West Coast, we'll start moving up the Navy. And happily, these guys are upgraded now. Oh, nuts. That's one of their carriers. They went ahead and they moved down south. Awesome. Thank you. Please make this easy for me. Probably half the Japanese fleet behind that one carrier. All right, well, if that is the case, I know I should have the carriers attack, but I want to save the carriers to help with the battle on Guadalcanal if at all possible. So let's hope the surface combatants can get that carrier for me. All right, damage evaded. Way to go. All right, doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do it. It is going to be carrier on carrier. That was not a good place to retreat to, Soryu. Soryu is not making wise choices. All right, we just might get her. Who do I got left that can attack? Other than the carriers. Dutch finish her off. Yep. go. All right, Dutch forces take out the Soryu, and so now I will have Hornet go after the other carrier. Oh man, they're running hard. Okay, still get this. Crap, now they're in port. All right, Saratoga, you are going to have to save the day. Yes! Way to go, Saratoga. And while I'm at it, let's see if there's anything there. Nope. All right. I'm going to have them land here and take the town. Hopefully it'll do something to help out with the supply situation, but I do not believe so. Anybody else around here? Yep. Okay, so we got a submarine all the way back there. Pretty heavily damaged one at that. Let's go ahead and see if we got any more ships in this area. They have those two carriers out there all by their lonesome. And not exactly the smartest move. But I have got to get guys up here to protect those carriers. Alright. Okay, so let's go ahead and land those guys. Is there anything I can do to help out these folks? Alright, well at least we did a lot of damage this turn. So hopefully they won't be able to repair much or reinforce much. And next turn, hopefully we'll be able to take them. Alright, so in the meantime, try and stop anybody from coming in to the Coral Sea. So that was a big deal in my opinion. We got two carriers. I believe that was, we got Soryu, and I believe the other one was Shokaku. Where is Saratoga? There she is. Yep, Shokaku. Okay. So, if anybody did not know, that's how you can go ahead and track and see who your units have scored against. Okay, that actually shattered the unit, sunk it, wiped it out, whatever, however you want to put it. So yeah, you just hit that honors, and it'll let you know. As it goes towards experience, which helps. Obviously, that helps your units perform better out there in the field. Not just combat, but other things like limiting, or not limiting, but more efficient supply and movement, that sort of thing. Okay, so they got him down to one, which is great. We may actually take Buna back pretty soon here. Awesome. All right, so despite some errors on my part last turn, we have actually had a pretty good comeback. I don't know. I'm starting to get the impression that the Japanese fleet is not down here in force, and if they're not, so I mean, we just have that escort carrier there. That's probably Ryujo or Ryuho, one of the two. All right, so the British have picked up advanced fighters. Have the battleships covering the destroyers. I can get this submarine back out into the fray. So I'll try and sneak him down, get him down here off of Singapore. All right, anything else we want to do with the UK forces? Definitely get that garrison up there. Get the Chindits moving. I forgot to move them last turn. I didn't even see them. And I was looking right at that part of the map. Freaking British camouflage. It's just tan. Oh, thank you. Just harass him. All right, so it looks like the Japanese are having difficulty getting supply up into this area. And when I was playing as the Japanese last time through this game, I was having some difficulty with supply getting out of Burma into India. So it looks like the computer is having the same difficulties. Not going to complain. I know a lot of you get on me about upgrading garrisons, but considering the limited amount of defenders that I've got right now, it seems like a pretty decent idea. I'm trying to get it, just trying to get at this guy. I guess not. Probably would be a good idea to move the artillery. So I'm not sure where I want to go with them. Can I get them up north anywhere to help out up here? It doesn't look like it. Looks like the furthest I can get them is right around here, right above Chungking. So all right, well, in that case, let's go ahead and get him out of the town there. Yeah, this way I don't have to spend the money to operate on the rail lines down to here, because this is where I was going to move him anyway. And then ultimately I'll try and get him up to this hex here so that he can cover the whole front line right along here. So that means I can move the headquarters unit into Changsha, and because he is actually in the city, that will help his coverage. All right, leave these two guys here to block. Down here, winter weather is not doing us any favors. It's not helping the Japanese that much either. So I'm going to want to bring him down here to replace that garrison that I lost. I know I should build a full-size unit to go ahead and do that. By any chance? Nope. They still have not declared war. All right, so we'll just keep trying to build up the Soviet Union. Hopefully, sooner or later, they will want to go ahead and join the fighting against Japan. Just looking around again to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Oh, yep, there we go. Okay, so who do we have here? 7th Marine Division. Can I land them anywhere? Yep. Now, let's not do them just yet. Let's go ahead and get them over onto the continent and then go from there. Because, I mean, until I actually secure Guadalcanal, I don't want to commit any more troops here except for this one unit that's going to take the town. All right, so what's next? I can move these two battleships. Is there anything I want to do with them? Yeah, but not this turn. So let's just hold them here. We'll have the battleships go up here and give shore bombardment. Hopefully we can go ahead and we can get that port. May have to bring one of these units up here, and so I got two of them working. And next time I got to remember to attack with the boats. All right, so I have been neglecting research and development for the UK. So let's go ahead and work there. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, there we go. Infantry warfare. Definitely need to get that going. All right, so there's only 30 points left, so there's nothing I can do with that. So now here in the United States, ground attack weapons. They're working on level 2 weapons, working on level 2 command and control, armored warfare. They got level 2 heavy bombers, level 1 advanced tanks. All right. Spying and technology, or spying and intelligence, I mean, always helpful. Submarine warfare is already at 3. They're working on 4. And I've only got 89 left, so let's bank that. Now, the Soviet Union. Ground attack weapons are at level 1 already. I'd like to get more troops. Do I even have enough to purchase anything? Yes, I do. All right. So what would actually do us? Army, mechanized, tanks. That's what would help. Another HQ. All right, so let's go ahead and bank all that they've got for now. And as much as I would really like to spend more for the Chinese, they're almost maxed out as is. But they could definitely be served better by getting them another army in the field. All right. How much do they have? 55. Can I do that? Yes, I can. All right, so let's reconstitute that garrison. Help fill a hole or two. Australia, let's look at their research first. So logistics are at level 2. They got 214. Command and control, infantry warfare. They're about to hit level 2 in infantry weapons. Fantastic. Advanced fighters. Armored warfare is kind of pointless, but amphibious warfare will definitely help them. What does that leave them with? 79. I may have to just go ahead and bank that. And I can do naval. That will help the Australians. All right, so there's only 44 left. All right, so we're going to have to bank that. All right, that is going to do it for this episode. As always, thank you very much for tuning in. If you're enjoying this, please, if you made it this far in the video, please drop a like. If you're enjoying this stuff, go ahead, drop a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. We're at 95 subscribers. I'd like to see if we can hit 100 before the end of the year. That would be really cool. And then if you know somebody that likes this sort of content, by all means, go ahead and share it with them. If you have any pointers, let me know. I'm not really versed in this particular strategic command game, so I'm always looking for helpful pointers. And with that, once again, thanks, and I will see you on the next one.